Hello everyone, Colin Brown here with your network readout for December of 2025. Now I'll be honest with you, November has been frustratingly slow from the political front. In this video I'm going to walk you through what's happening with the government strategy delays, why ministers aren't meeting with us, and what you can do to change that. Now at this point, all the best YouTubers would normally say, let's dive in. But I'm not one of them. So instead, let's kick it down into first gear and get rolling. Let's talk about what I'm calling the National Stagnation Strategy, because frankly, that's what it feels like right now. I wrote to all three junior ministers at the Department for Transport in October requesting meetings. The response? Crickets. From two of them anyway. And the one who did respond, 𝐮𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, essentially said, sorry, too busy, thanks anyway. Shoddy would be an understatement. We're just getting too busy now with no commitment to meet in the future. As Labour MP Fabian Hamilton said back in December of last year, and I quote, Labour is not interested in motorcycles, or so it would seem. There's a lot of ignorance built into that. I suspect there is nobody in government who actually uses a motorcycle. That's his words, not mine. And that brings us to the two big strategy documents that we've been waiting for. The first is the Integrated National Transport Strategy. It was announced in November of 2024. The consultation closed in February of this year with over 6,000 responses. It was supposed to have been published this year.
I understand the point you're making, Chair. I think when we publish the Integrated National Transport Strategy next year as well, that we will also give you a clearer sense of direction on some of the issues that you're raising there.
Now it's been pushed back to 2026. So what about the road safety strategy for England? Now we were told that it would come out this autumn, but autumn's been and gone now, and we're told that there will be a consultation on it, but that consultation hasn't yet been scheduled. So this means that we're looking at 2026 or beyond before we see anything concrete. Now for MAG this does mean that the window of opportunity remains open to keep pushing for the welcoming roads narrative, but the ministers are keeping the windows firmly shuttered. Now you may have seen that during Motorcycle Live Week I met Cumbrian MP Marcus Campbell-Savers in Westminster. I used the meeting to express our disappointment about the lack of ministerial engagement. So hopefully he may give Simon Lightwood and Lillian Greenwood a bit of a nudge. Now I know meetings like this might seem mundane from the outside, but every contact, every letter, every conversation brings us closer to achieving the outcomes that we want. This is why you need to keep engaging with your MP. If your MP is Labour, ask them to have a quiet word with their minister colleagues saying, please meet with these people. If your MP is from any of the other parties, it's their job to hold the government to account. So ask them to do just that. They can ask when the Integrated National Transport Strategy will actually be published and why ministers aren't engaging with the motorcycle lobby. On a brighter note, most of the comments I'm seeing about Motorcycle Live suggest that it was actually better than it has been in recent years, even if it's not up to the glory days standard. Now, as you will probably know, MAG didn't run a stand at the show, but I did attend the show with Jane and MAG's president, Ian Much, to record some videos and do a bit of networking. We even managed to bag an interview with Tony Campbell, the MCIA boss. Don't miss that one when it goes out on YouTube. Have I mentioned that you should be subscribing to this YouTube channel? No? Well, if I haven't, I have now. The Fuel Your Passion straplines seem to work. We are told more tickets sold, more stand space, more visitors, a fantastic atmosphere. The managing director, Finlay McCallan, called it a success. Well, he was never going to say anything else, was he, to be fair? But press day at the motorcycle show was still dominated by electric models, despite the continued disinterest from the sales figures. And when I compare Motorcycle Live to EICMA in Milan, I see a missed opportunity. At EICMA, they hosted a high-profile event right-sizing urban mobility. This brought together manufacturers and policymakers to champion motorcycles and scooters as solutions to urban congestion. So while the EU is carving out e-fuel exemptions and flexibility for motorcycles, the UK remains stuck on track for a hard 2030/2035 ban on internal combustion engine bikes. As Brussels embraces technology neutrality, we risk having a UK motorcycle sector with regulations that diverge unfavourably from the EU markets, unable to sell bikes that remain perfectly legal across the channel. Sometimes the best advocacy isn't done behind closed doors, it needs a stage. A quick story that puts things into perspective. A MAG member contacted me recently from Suffolk. He first started pushing for bus lane access 30 years ago. I even supported him in a meeting with Suffolk County Council a couple of years ago. The good news, a 201 metre stretch of bus lane is going to be open to motorcycles. So that's roughly 6 metres of bus lane for every year of campaigning. If anyone thinks this is a fast-moving process, think again. Looking ahead to December and beyond, I'll be meeting with National Highways, the National Young Rider Forum, Two Wheels London and Transport Scotland before the year end. We have some significant elections coming in May 2026. This gives us a chance to engage with politicians who have actually got an imminent need for our votes. So let's put this opportunity to work for us in the new year. So to wrap up, stay engaged, write to your MPs and don't let the lack of ministerial response discourage you. Every contact matters. Enjoy your festive season and get ready for another year of effort trying to avoid the policy 𝐮𝐻𝐻𝐸. I'm Colin Brown, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next network readout in the new year.